Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. It is so lovely to have you here. My name is Fiona Lohr. I am an eating disorder counselor, and today I want to talk to you about something that I have mentioned quickly in my previous videos, and that is my panic attacks. Now, I've had some questions here and there asking, but what exactly do you experience when you have a panic attack? And it is such a difficult thing to describe that I really had to sit down and reflect for a minute on what do I actually feel when I feel that I'm starting to get a panic attack. Now, I will first tell you about the very first experience I had with panic and the fact that I genuinely thought I was having a heart attack. I was actually on a cruise with my parents, with my brother, a friend of his, and my boyfriend, and we were just sitting having dinner. I had dinner with my boyfriend sitting across from him. First course came through, I was eating main course, and then I don't know what happened, but I looked at my boyfriend and suddenly there was just this gush, this wave of fear that came over me. And it was so incredibly frightening. I had no idea what it was. Then out of nowhere, I felt my heartbeat racing. I felt my palms getting sweaty. I felt lightheaded and my breath was up in my chest. I thought I was dying, especially because I could feel my heart racing so incredibly fast. I just thought, oh my gosh, what is this? And I just remember telling my boyfriend, like, look, I need to get out of here right now because I don't know what this is, okay? And so we told the waiters, we're gonna get out, thank you, it was lovely. I'm not feeling quite well. And of course I didn't want to make a scene, so I wasn't out there yelling around or crying. I just thought, I have to get out of here. And I think that is something that characterizes each and every one of my panic attacks, where I actually just thought about this yesterday, where in every panic attack situation, I just want to get out of that situation. I want to get up and run. So how did I deal with this first panic attack? Well, we went to look for a doctor on board, but the doctor's cabinet had closed. And I thought, okay, well, rationally, I know I'm not having a heart attack, but what if? And this doubt, this continuous doubt in my mind scared me even more. So I was walking around. I didn't want to walk up the stairs and scared of even further hyperventilation. And then I remembered something that I'm studying in my psychology course, and it's something where there's 3 ways of dealing with emotion, and the way emotion gives feedback to the body and the body gives feedback to emotion. So I thought, okay, well, imagine I just saw a bear, so my heart rate is up. I realized that my heart rate is up, so I experience fear. And due to experiencing fear, my heart rate goes up again, which is basically like a give and take thing. So mentally, I knew, okay, I am creating this fear by myself, so I must breathe. So I tried to breathe, and breathing didn't work. Breathing only made it even worse. So I got panicky, and I mean, of course I got panicky. It was a massive panic attack, and it took me a full day to properly get out of it. I had to go to bed that night, and I thought, but what if I die in my sleep? And obviously that didn't happen, but the fear was so real to me that, I don't know, it was scary, man. It was scary. So then I thought, okay, as soon as I get back from holidays, I must call my psychologist and book an appointment, because this is getting out of hand. Like, I didn't know why I was having these things, but I thought, oh my gosh, this is really scary, and this is a physiological reaction, so I need to deal with this. So I booked an appointment, and they said this can take a long time before you have your first appointment, and I said, okay, well, that is what it is. So I waited, and I waited a bit more, and then I had my pre-intake, and in between waiting and having my pre-intake, I actually had another panic attack where I was driving from my parents' house to my own house, which is a drive of around 45 minutes, and I was on the highway, and I was just chilling, and I thought, what if I have a panic attack? And then I thought, no, don't be silly, of course, and I could already feel my heartbeat going up, and I felt that I was getting lightheaded, my palms were sweaty, my hands were weak, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm having a panic attack. And then I said, well, Fiona, you just asked yourself, how would it be if I got a panic attack right now? So are you not just watering the emotion? Like, whatever you focus will grow. And here I was rationally trying to tell myself that I had talked myself into this panic attack. And I was like, okay, I should probably go off the road. And then the other part of me was like, but don't go off the road because there's nothing wrong with you. And then things just got worse and worse, and I tried to breathe, and by breathing, I started hyperventilating. So eventually I was like, okay, I need to get off the road right now. So I got off the road, parked my car, and it went into a full-blown panic attack. Like, I was hyperventilating, shaking, and I was so incredibly tired afterwards. Like, oh, it was terrible. So what happened that night is that my in-laws I called my in-laws to come and get me, and they brought me home. We had a little conversation, and my mother-in-law, sweetheart that she is, she gave me all these exercises that if this were to happen again, I could deal with it. Now, you must understand that this experience, this part of my life, influenced the fact that I didn't want to drive anymore, because apparently I was a danger to the other users of the road. And that made me really sad, because I am not somebody who is generally scared. I am somebody who jumped out of an airplane for fun. I'm somebody who, when I first had my driving license, I had my driving license for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and then I drove to Milan in a big SUV with my friends. So I was never fearful. And by having this experience once, it made me afraid of driving, and I realized that I wasn't going to be able to avoid driving because I need my car and I want the freedom of driving around. So I had to drive, and I had to continue to drive. And I remember there was this day in January where I wanted to walk with the dogs, and for this I had to drive a little bit so that they could be off leash, and it's a beautiful forest. And there was snow on the road, and I just remember thinking, yeah, but see, you had this problem, so what happens if you can't drive? And there were the symptoms again. Just pressure on my chest, hyperventilation, sweaty palms, and it's always the same physiological reactions. But it got to a point where it even happened when I came home from a day of work, and I was sitting on the couch eating my dinner with my boyfriend next to me, and then I felt as if I was going mental. I felt like I was going crazy. And the same here as in the previous 3 times is I wanted to get up and move. I wanted to get out of the situation that I was in. And for the people who have never, ever experienced a panic attack, I find it really difficult to explain this sudden fear that you feel, but it's immense. It's really, really, really scary, and it's real. Like, even telling myself rationally, like, my brain is like, okay, but chill, it's physiological, you're not having a heart attack, you're not gonna die. But the emotion is stronger than the rationality. And I think that's what I'm going to be working on with my psychologist as well, is that we're going to be working on learning to desensitize the fear and to let the brain win from the heart in this sense. So yeah, in that respect, I have had numerous accounts of panic attacks, and my most recent one was actually 2 or 3 days ago when we went to watch a show. We went to the theater, and as I said, I'm not a scared person. I'm not a fearful person, but I was sitting in the crowd and I was looking around me, and I thought, wow, if fire breaks out here, we are all screwed. I don't know where these things are coming from, man. I have no idea, but people often describe panic attacks as like a fire alarm. So the fire alarm is the same as your fear system in your brain, except the fire alarm has been tweaked so that every little tiny detection of smoke makes it go off ballistically. Like, it's set too tight, even for a boiling kettle, or the smoke of a candle that has been blown out, that would even set off the alarm. And it's the same with your brain, where even the littlest, most undangerous, not dangerous situations make your brain think that they are running from a tiger. Like, I'm just here typing up an email to work and I get a panic attack. Like, oh gosh. Well, such is life, and I genuinely believe that talking about it actually helps a lot, because I did not know anybody who had panic attacks, except for until the point where I started talking about it, and people were like, oh yeah, but I've got that too, and oh, that has happened to me too, and this and this helped. And I thought, why are people not talking about this? Because the first time I had it, I felt really lonely. Once again, I was like, wow, this is happening to me. What is this? Why am I having this? And why am I the only one? And then I realized, or I reminded myself, you are never the only one. So yeah, in this story, I also want to share that, once again, you are also not alone. And I hope that these stories that I have just shared about my experiences with panic attacks are resonating with you for if you have or haven't had the same thing. I know they can be super scary, but what I've also learned is that the first 2 times for me were the most intense until I started researching them more. I started researching the symptoms. What can I do in such a moment? And just genuinely accepting that I'm having a panic attack, accepting that these physiological reactions, so the sweaty palms, increasing heartbeat, this sense of fear, adrenaline in my body, it's okay. It's there, but it's not gonna kill me. It's not gonna make me faint, and it's especially not gonna give me a heart attack. So, thank you for watching this video with me. I hope you will like and subscribe. And please do give me some suggestions for the new videos because I'm super excited to share with you. It's just there are so many ideas and I don't know where to start. So, yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.